Hey everybody, it is Kyle here with UnBoxed Autos, and today we're going to be taking a look and reviewing the car behind me, which is the 2020 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. Now that is a mouthful, and that is all new for 2020. So let's go ahead, we're going to take a deep dive, we're going to go ahead and talk about the exterior design, check out the tech on the interior, as well as go over engine specs and other comparable vehicles in this segment. Let's get started. Now, the Atlas Cross Sport is all new for 2020. Now, obviously, those of you that are familiar with the Volkswagen lineup are probably familiar with the Atlas itself. That is their largest SUV. It's a three-row SUV, the Atlas, and it's been pretty popular for the brand. Lots of families. It's definitely a family-focused vehicle. But for those of us who are looking to show our sportier side, but still want something that's large and very spacious, especially in the rear hatch area, then I would take a close look at the Atlas Cross Sport. Now, again, it is all new for 2020, and it has a starting price of $30,545 for the S model. However, most people will probably want the SE model or the SE with the tech with the R line, which includes some notable features and some nice upgrades on the exterior. And that one's $38,000. So I'd say it's a safe bet to assume that most people will be rolling off the lot with the Atlas Cross Sport anywhere from $35,000 to $45,000. Now, what's under the hood, there are two different options. There is a base engine, which is a 2-liter turbo, makes 235 horsepower and 258 pound-foot of torque. Now, right here we have the V6 version, which is 276 horsepower and 266 foot-pounds of torque. And again, that is a V6 naturally aspirated. You can also get 4Motion all-wheel drive, which is also what this vehicle has. The one right here we have is the fully loaded model, and we're sitting here on 22-inch wheels, obviously freaking humongous wheels. But I think they fit this cars and the personality of this vehicle very well. Love the two-tone color, nice sharp machine finish. I think these wheels fit the vehicle's personality very well. It's a very stylish SUV. I think that's definitely one of its strong points. If somebody is looking for an SUV that's very stylish, then this would be a good option for you. This is the SEL with the R line in the V6 model here. Right there we have some R-line badging right there. We have a 3-tiered grille, a front camera there, as you guys can see. For the parking assist, we have a bird's eye view camera in this thing. It is quite large, honestly. This is a very large SUV. It's definitely a full-size SUV. Lots of cargo space in the back, which I will get to in just a moment. But, you know, again, really nice looking wheels. Cross Sport right there. It is ultimately, you know, pretty simple styling, but yet elegant. Again, obviously this is the Cross Sport, so we have that rear hatch look there. Love how it comes down. I think it, you know, again, very stylish vehicle, quite European, very modern looking, especially with these very large wheels. I think it's definitely a good look. We have a muscular rear end fender here, which kind of pops out, right, gives it that muscular appearance. Looking here from the bottom, has this has a lot of ground clearance as well, and also we have these dual sort of points here for styling. Go ahead and open it up. So as I was saying, there is a ton of room back here. So obviously, instead of that third row, you get a ton of space. I mean, you could easily fit 4 very large suitcases back here and still have room. So plenty of space. Again, great vehicle if you're looking to, you know, go on a road trip or haul things around. This is great for that. Obviously it's automatic, as you guys can see. So that is the exterior. They did a good job with the lighting. We have Volkswagen's IQ lighting system here. This vehicle basically that allows the vehicle's lights to follow the road in the evening as you turn the wheel. So that's very convenient. It's a good safety feature as well. This car, being the fully loaded model, does have all of the safety features that you have probably come to know. We have blind spot detection, forward collision warning. We have distance guided cruise control. We have blind spot monitoring. We have collision mitigation system. Go ahead and flip this to auto. So now the interior here, it reminds me of the exterior. It's very modern. It's minimalistic in design, but I still love it. This burgundy seat color here I think looks phenomenal on top of this black with the white stitching. I think, you know, again, as far as the palette colors are concerned, it's an absolutely gorgeous vehicle. We have 3 different seat memories, plenty of controls. The seats are very comfortable, very supportive, so you don't have to worry about that. This is, you know, this is, you know, a little cheap here. For this vehicle here is $51,000, so it's a little bit cheap. But again, you know, the base model of this car is just over $30,000, so it's kind of to be expected. Right here, we have this trim piece right here, and then this. It's a pretty soft door panel trim as far as the top goes here, so I do appreciate that. It looks and feels good. Nice enough metal door handles. We have the premium Fender sound system, which is very good, high quality. Before we jump in the front, though, I just want to go ahead and show you guys how much room there is in the back. I am 5'10". I am seated in a very comfortable position with the seat pretty far back. And as you guys can see, there is loads of room back here. Tons of space, tons of space. I mean, this is where I normally sit. This is a good 8 to 10 inches right here, if not more. We do have heated seats in the back here as well. We have the panoramic view sunroof, which is always nice to have. Very comfortable car. That's definitely a high point, as well as styling. We also have the shades here for the rear passengers. And yeah, it's a very well put together vehicle and very easy to exit, very wide doors. And then another nice feature is that we have keyless entry and locking on all 4 doors, which is always something I look for. Stepping inside again, we have this sort of very utilitarian look to the interior of the vehicle. It's quite robust and spacious. So for those of you who do appreciate the more minimalistic modern design, which I do, it is good. The quality is there. It's a good quality, again, especially if you're looking at that mid-range level trim, around the $35,000 to $45,000 range. It's definitely a good buy. Right here we have our climate control settings and our infotainment system. Let's actually go ahead and start it up so I can show you guys. So start button is actually right here. We have different drive modes. We'll cover that more in just a minute after we continue with the interior styling. Do really like this new Volkswagen steering wheel. This is again the R line here, so we have this little bit of a flat bottom and perforations right here on the side. Really comfortable, really soft steering wheel. Again, it's very nice. I'm a big fan of it, especially too with this R signature right here, along with this aluminum trim. It's very solid. We have 3 settings for the heated steering wheel, which I find interesting, and it's a cool thing. So we have low, medium, and high, which is nice. We obviously are using a version of the digital cockpit here. It's not quite as advanced as the system you'd find in an Audi vehicle, but it is able to do pretty much everything that you'd want a digital display to do. We can go ahead and go through navigation, assist systems, driving data, vehicle status, phone, audio, and again back to navigation, that view. Then there's this view, which displays a little bit more information. And then there's my favorite view, which goes for the full gauges. And then obviously within that there, you guys can see the different settings back to that. Again, this is followed throughout. Good quality, again, it's quite nice. This trim right here is very plasticky, along with this trim here within the air vent. Not a big fan of this trim. They should definitely do something about that. Definitely give it an update, as well as these air vents. They're not of that good of a quality, and they look and feel quite cheap. It's kind of a departure from what we've been feeling throughout the rest of the interior, with these nice door panels, solid handles, and good buttons. Again, we have the premium Fender sound system. You guys can see there, the signature there. And over there, again, it's a very good system. It's quite powerful, and it has a good bass without dumbing down the vocals too much at higher volume levels. It's a very simple media system. As you guys can see, the map here, it looks a little bit outdated, but we do have CarPlay available as well, so if you guys prefer that, that's not a problem. Very easy to connect. Although the system is very smooth, so as far as usability goes, it's definitely there, but as far as, you know, updated look, it's struggling a little bit. I'm sure that we'll see a new system from them relatively soon. Here in the media section, we have Bluetooth. We have a nice display of the various satellite channels that we can have here. And then we can have our phone, voice commands there, and then back to navigation. And then we also have some different car settings here. We can show it to display some different things, like if we were, for instance, in a navigation mode, we could see that there, and it will tell us about things like acceleration and travel time as we're driving. Also give us speed and what gear we're in there as well. Coming down here to the climate settings, we have some tactile buttons here, pretty standard for Volkswagen. They feel good enough, and they look fine. They're pretty easy to use. Little digital display does show what you have it set at there. Auto temperature controls. There is no setting as far as within the auto. The blower speed, which is always a nice thing to have, this does not have that. We have heated and cooled seats. Again, the heated steering wheel, nice touch. Auto stop start off button, which I always engage. It's actually pretty noticeable in this vehicle, especially being a larger engine. Not the best to have that on. Down here in our drive mode selection, so right now we have the on-road function. We can move it to snow, the road. We also have the off-road, and then we have the off-road custom, where we can adjust that. And then within the normal mode, we have some different drive modes as well. We can also set it up with custom, so we can adjust the steering, the drive system, the acceleration, the cruise control, adaptive lighting system, the climate control, and things like that. Actually pretty advanced. Quite a few options to choose from, which is always good to have options, right? So yeah, overall, you know, I think the interior is a good place to spend time. Very comfortable seats. Again, it is more on the basic side of things, which for some people, they might not like that. I personally like it. I think it follows the style of this vehicle well. And again, love the burgundy color on the interior. But for those of you looking for something that's going to be sporty without breaking the bank on, say, an X4, then this is a good option. I think it definitely does the trick as far as exterior styling goes, which is definitely a high point of this vehicle. When it comes to driving, I find the engine to be a little bit disappointing. It's not quite as powerful as it should be for a vehicle of this size and at this price point. But those of you who are shopping for a full-size SUV might not be super concerned about that in the Atlas. But for those of you in the Atlas Cross Sport, which are probably purchasing this more for a styling perspective over utility, then that may be something that you'd prefer to have a little bit more power than it does offer. The engine's a little bit choppy around town, and well, it does have a good transmission. It does do a bit of hunting to 8th gear, which can be annoying, again, especially with regular driving. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. I hope that you enjoyed our review on the 2020 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport SEL V6 R-Line. If you guys have any questions, please let us know in the comments below.